Dr. Binu Mathew, Assistant Professor of Business Communication at College of Banking and Financial Studies, Muscat, Oman. He has a fascinating teaching career that spans over 25 years, besides an impeccable research experience. He took his PhD from one of the state-of-art institutes in India, IIT Bombay. He has the enviable certified teacher qualification from the elite Cambridge University, UK. He is also a certified trainer for corporate client training at CBFS. What adds to his unparalleled profile is that he possesses a triple master's degree, MA, MPhil, and MBA. Being someone who has a different vantage point to offer on every realm of studies, he has published extensively and has presented papers in several international conferences. He has worn the distinguished hat of a sub-lieutenant at the Indian Naval Unit NCC-2 while working in the Mumbai University. Amidst these solemn titles, he has a penchant for music and also has a YouTube channel to his credit. He will be sharing his serious deliberations on the topic entrepreneurial mindset and the changing paradigm of business. We welcome you, sir, to our conference. Welcome, sir. I welcome all the participants who are eagerly waiting to present their papers and are all ears to listen to the eminent speakers to this two-day conference on recontextualizing entrepreneurship and business for future. Welcome all. Now, I invite Dr. Binu Mathew to take over the session.
Thank you so much for your warm introduction and kind details that were given as a part of my profile. Let me share the screen with you first of all. Appreciate this two-day conference on recontextualizing entrepreneurship and the business for future. It's an apt topic, as we can all understand, in the changing scenario today. All right, I hope you can see the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In this 60 minutes of my talk, I'll be speaking about the entrepreneurial mindset and the changing paradigm of business of today. If you look at Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "Build a better mousetrap and the world will beat a path to your door." Century before this quotation was made to the entire world as a proclamation. Now let's look at the two terms. First of all, we'll look at the entrepreneurship, and let's look at the second part, that is a changing paradigm of business. Let's now see the term. What is entrepreneurship? Researchers have been very inconsistent in their definitions of the term entrepreneurship. They have actually emphasized a broad range of activities, including in the entrepreneurship process, which is the creation of organizations, carrying out new combinations, exploration of new opportunities, bearing of the uncertainty, the bringing together of factors of production, and there are many more. So to put in general, entrepreneurship refers to a process of starting a new enterprise and operating it successfully so as to create a product or a procedure having value for people, giving necessary time and effort, and bearing all the consequences, sometimes financial risks, difficulties, challenges, with an intention to make profit. In fact, governments across the world have been encouraging people to be entrepreneurs because of the scarcity of the jobs in many parts of the world, especially due to the pandemic and like other situation. So having seen a general overview of the term entrepreneurship, Let's now look at some of those related terms. One is the World Economic Forum has put these details here in the entrepreneurship. One of the things is, who is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur refers to the individual who is involving in entrepreneurship, and the person is entrepreneur. The process is called entrepreneurship. While having a mindset to make changes, to being innovative, is said to be entrepreneurial, individualistic mindset. Entrepreneurial ecosystem is the role of the society that is being created. Moving on to the enterprise. The word enterprise is an integral part of the term entrepreneurship. So as it is displayed on the slide, it could be a project taken, especially undertaken, especially during difficult times, or requires very bold step or energy, or to plan a project. These are called enterprise. Now, the term entrepreneurship has achieved some kind of a narrow meaning over a period of time. The narrow meaning of entrepreneurship is people always relate to entrepreneurship as starting a business, or being in business, or growing in business, or develop something, a business itself. He's an entrepreneur, that means he started something new. Now, there is a broader meaning of the term entrepreneurship. One is the attitude a person has. Now, entrepreneurship doesn't mean, an entrepreneur doesn't mean that a person should start a new business always. One person can be an intrapreneur because a person can work in an organization but can make innovative, creative change within the organization. He is an entrepreneur in his own way or her own way. So the attitude a person has, or the skills that are possessed by a person, that can lead them to exhibit some sort of innovative behavior, includes entrepreneurship as well. So it's a behavior, basically. It's a bent of mind, and it is an approach on facing a concept or a situation to resolve a problem, similar thing. Now, an enterprising entrepreneurial person is one who comes a pile of scrap material and sees the making of a wonderful sculpture. That person is an entrepreneur. An enterprising person is one who drives through an old decrepit part of the town and sees a new housing project, a housing development. He is an entrepreneur, or she is an entrepreneur. An enterprising person is one who sees opportunities in all areas of life, Jim Rohn said in The Business Philosopher. Now, developing entrepreneurial skills. Let's look at these three areas about it. One is a personal enterprise. We have already mentioned on the term that it's a mindset. It's an aptitude for the ability to be confident and self-motivated. No one can push you to do an entrepreneurship. We can see all the creators around the world, they have their genuine passion from within. So that's the enterprising person. Now, when you refer to the term innovation, that means the skills and strategies for applying creativity by understanding, recognizing, evaluating, pursuing opportunities for sustainable development. Venture creation is again an entrepreneurship term, related term, is planning and creating ventures, business opportunities. You might have heard about the crowdfunding platforms. We'll just give a brief outline on that a little after. So venture creation is also a part of entrepreneurship. There are famous names across the world. Okay, so the business enterprise as a private sector, the corporate enterprise as a public sector, involves private also, and the social enterprise is also there, not so profit as well. As we said, that there is no single accepted term of the word definition of the word entrepreneurship. It can be small business, the SMEs as we normally call it, the high growth firms, the family businesses of the franchisees, corporate entrepreneurship, or as we said about intrapreneurship, which is a mindset which is of an employee who is working already within. Now, if you look at some of the parts of the behavior of these people, business skills needed by successful.
Introduction stage, the growth, the shakeout, maturity, and decline.
Okay, so let's look at the let's look at the business skills needed by successful entrepreneurs. One is to manage money, manage people, directing business operations, directing sales and marketing operations, and setting up a business. These were the other skills needed by a successful entrepreneur. Now, when we said the term entrepreneur, the word innovation has been used several times because innovation is an integral element of entrepreneurial process. Now, the innovation process begins with an idea that is an abstract concept or the research findings or some kind of an idea that is born in the mind of or germinated in the mind of the single individual, which is being shared with several other people like partners, business partners. You can see the world over entrepreneurs, whether it is Facebook or YouTube or WhatsApp or you can iPhone. All the entrepreneurial ideas were generated in the minds of single individuals. Then it moves on to the invention stage. That means the abstract ideas, the concepts are being transformed into more concrete product or process or an enterprise. Now, this takes a while for maturity of the idea to put it into practice with a hands-on experience on something and to make it as a creation by itself. So this has modification or recombination of existing ones. Again, the term entrepreneurship doesn't mean to start from nothingness. It's not a start from emptiness. You can also develop certain things which are already existing. It is to understand the need, the gaps in the market, the demand of the customers, or a solution for some problems, the market problems faced by individual customers. So the invention starts there, and then it moves to commercialization of the idea, which is called as the innovation. It gets into actual piece for retail selling and the wholesale selling of the idea, the concept, the business idea, or the process. It could be a service or it could be a product. And then it moves on to imitation. You can see many successful entrepreneurs continue to replicate their own success stories. You look at the products that are available in the market, whether it is mobile phones or whether it is a supermarket chain or a food franchisee, any of this they'll replicate because that is a success recipe that's with them. There's a secret ingredients are with them. So this is the fourth stage of innovation process involved in entrepreneurship. Now you can see some arrows which are coming back from here, from innovation to invention and innovation to idea. This is where an entrepreneur or the company thinks about recreating or making modifications on their own business idea, because otherwise it might lead to a sudden ennui or boredom on the part of customers. Customers might feel that this has been used for a long time, so they feel a little bit of monotony in using the product or service. That's where a business entrepreneur must go and either modify the idea or the invention itself. Now, just to explain the process of innovation here, okay, this is an example applied to the mobile telephone industry. Now, if I can see that the first people who buy any new product of technology is called the technology enthusiasts. So you can see the Iridium phone at those times, maybe in the 70s at those times, 2.5% of the market share is by the technology enthusiasts who buy this product, who try it out. They are the testers of this product. So they will be using this product perhaps as guinea pigs. They are the ones who try out. They are the, you can say, technical buffs or engineers who want to see the nitty-gritties of the new technology. Then comes to the early adopters. Now these are the enthusiasts who will be standing in the line, in the queue, before an Apple store overnight or in a couple of nights before standing in the queue to buy the product. They are early adopters, maybe teenagers, maybe those who are young in their own mindset. Then comes a small chasm. I think chasm by itself is a small wedge or gap, because this is where the business needs to sustain themselves in order to continue with this product. So you can see that from iridium, which falls into the pre-chasm stage, it falls a small category and it stopped. Okay, then it came to triophones and it fell into the big chasm, the gap, and their products ended over there. By the time, if you can see BlackBerry, I'm sure some of you, I think most of you know about the BlackBerry phones. The product which came from Canada, RIM, Research in Motion company. BlackBerry came into existence. The early majority of the people, 34% of the people, buy this particular product at the stage. You can see a big majority, early majority they call it. They bought the BlackBerry. And then what happened? Then there is a chasm. On the peak of the sales, there's a chasm, and that's where the BlackBerry fell and became almost extinct. Now it's already extinct. By the time Galaxy came in, the Android phones came into existence, and the late majority bought this. 34% of late majority started using the Galaxy phones, the Android phones, and also, not to forget it, the iPhone market. Then it goes even to the laggards. Now laggards are, it could be people, they use it because they have no other choice. For example, we might gift a smartphone, a touchscreen phone to our grandparents, that they are called laggards. They didn't have a choice but to use this phone with all the difficulties of touching on this phone. Now this is an example of a mobile phone telephone industry crossing the chasm. So this continues for any type of businesses. We also here see that there are 5 phases of an industry life cycle. One is to start with the introduction, then to move to growth, then the shakeout stage, the maturity stage, and the decline. Now, some people say even a professional's life cycle is also similar to this kind of a product life cycle. You start your career, you grow, and then you become mature, and then there's a decline, whether it is for any profession. Some professions, it's very quick decline. For example, the sports personnel will be having a quick, at the age of, in the teenage or the 20s, they'll be in the limelight, achieving world-class, medals or credentials they achieve, but then they always, have a decline in their career. Let's now look at this small video to see what we have just explained. It's being shown in a small video. This is about a girl who started her business at the age of 9 and then move on to become a multi-million-dollar business enterprise. So let's look at this. All right. As you have seen just now, the possibilities of who you can become is endless, almost like sky is the limit, as they call it. Now, one of the things that we introduce in our college year, okay, we have an affiliation with a UK university, and one of the modules is entrepreneurship and the skills which are related to that. Okay, and also the employability skills that is related to that. Now, one of the tasks, in fact, this is one of the assignments, is that the students have to work in a group to create a crowdfunding business plan. I think some of you might have heard about crowdfunding business plan. There are lots of websites available on the internet across lots of countries also. The crowdfunding is the practice of funding a project or a venture by raising small amounts of money from a large number of people, basically via internet. Now, many of those filmmakers, artists, basically the creators, basically, you can see across, even in Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, you'll find all sort of invitation for crowdfunding, donation invitations. Now, they, imagine a million people, or we can say 10 lakh people supporting just $1 for a project. So you can imagine the $1 million that you can earn from nowhere. It's not it's not from the bank, it is individuals who support. And there are various models for this crowdfunding project. Some of the students do take it very seriously, and some of them even work after the college project to continue with the same team to create more of it. So it's to create an entrepreneurial mindset in the attitude of today's young generation. These are the models. It could be equity based or reward based, or it can be lending based or even donation based. So people who lend the money, they might get something in return, and even if they don't get anything in return, it's for funding a project which has got its own value by itself, as they realize. So these are some of those crowdfunding platforms which are available. Youngsters might look for it, because every country, okay, India is not an exception, needs business or revenue to be generated by the individuals. We are all churning out, education industry has become, they are all become churning out graduates who are looking for placements after their graduation. This is something to look forward to. It doesn't, if you have a brilliant idea, there is no dearth of getting money for this particular project. Over 2 billion is raised through Kickstarter, one of the crowdfunding projects. Equity crowdfunding in UK raises more than VCs and angels. You can see that for almost everyone wanting to raise some money to start a business or a social enterprise, I would advise them to investigate the crowdfunding route very seriously. Luke Johnson. The realities, however, must not be forgotten. Okay, you might put one line: the strangers will give money for your idea, it will cost you nothing. However, the truth is that a good majority of the campaigns fail. So let's be realistic in approaching this. We might feel that it's a brilliant idea, but our people who are funding us may not be that convinced about this idea. And most successful campaigns raise less than £10, £10,000 in the UK. And some people lose money also on a crowdfunding campaign. So these are the harsh realities of crowdfunding. However, this speaks about creating, innovating something that when you meet with difficult situation. Let's now look at this Jay Shetty's video and see what is entrepreneurial in a tough situation like this. Some of you might have seen it. It's available all on the YouTube.
Yeah, David, come on in. How's the family?
They're doing well. I heard there's a promotion coming up next quarter. I'd love to throw my name in the hat.
Yeah, I've been looking at the numbers, and yours don't seem to be quite up to what we need.
I'm sorry. With all due respect, sir, I've been here 5 years, and I've worked 60, 70 hours a week. I show up earlier than anyone here. I'm the hardest worker you have.
This is not a question of work ethic, David. I love working with you. You bring a great energy and work ethic, but sometimes it just comes down to cold, hard facts. And we need numbers.
Well, I don't understand. What are you saying?
We have to let you go.
I don't understand.
The truth is, you're just not the right fit.
Okay. Thanks for your opportunity. Hey,
David, how's it going?
hey, it's good to see you.
Great to see you. So what are you up to?
I've actually, since I saw you, I started my own company. I'm doing what I love every day. It's going really well.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Thanks. You know, actually, I need to thank you, because you said what I did before wasn't the right fit, and you were right. So thank you.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I've always liked you. Really great to see you.
Thanks. Hey, let's grab a drink sometime.
I love that, yeah.
Let's do it.
Great.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We should actually be extremely grateful that some things don't work out the way we once wanted them to. When we get rejected or we fail or things don't go our way, we feel we're further away from our goal. But sometimes it's in those moments that we have the greatest opportunity to reflect, refuel, and refocus. It's in those moments that feel like the death of our dreams that our truest potential is actually taking birth. If a door doesn't open, it's not your door. Often we're trying to climb ladders that are not ours to climb. Is your dream really your dream? Are you chasing what you truly want? I remember one of my mentors telling me that in our pain, we find our greatest power. Success is not built on success. It's built on failure. It's built on frustration. It's built on fears that you have to overcome. Sometimes it takes a good fall to really know where you stand. Every time we think we're being rejected from something good, remember, we're just being redirected to something better. Thank you for watching this 4-part series. If you missed an episode, go back and watch episodes 1, 2, and 3 to see the complete picture.
All right, credits to Jay Shetty. Lots of motivational videos on the YouTube. A person of Indian origin. Okay, so what you have just seen is the person who just lost a job, okay, unexpectedly, is not dejected. He finds a way in which to start something new on his own. This tells that success is not always built on success. Success can be built on failures, frustrations, dejections, disappointments. In fact, disappointments in lives are like speed breakers in the rest of the life's journey. You will have to get over that to enjoy the rest of the ride. So this is what the person said. So sometimes being an entrepreneur, the innovative skills that you have is not realized by us individuals unless we face a crisis in our life. So remember, problems and crises are not always to break you, but to see the worth that is inside you. It's an opportunity. Every problem, every crisis in a business situation or in a career is not just meant for testing our patience or anything. It could be an opportunity. Imagine if a door is closed, look at the window side. Okay, look at the window, look at another opportunity that makes us more creative in our approach of entrepreneurship, creating by ourselves something which we have never seen before. I think you might have heard about the Johari windows. Okay, I think we may not be able to. So Johari windows speaks about some of the hidden self in us is not realized by us or anybody else who are around us. But sometimes it comes to the forefront when we are met with a situation, when you are met with a crisis. See, many of those management exercises that we conduct here, training programs may have Johari windows exercise where people can comment on the individual colleagues about what their strengths and weaknesses are. Sometimes we may not tell our bosses about their weaknesses, and the boss will never realize in the situation. But here, the people will tell them, what is their strength, what is their weakness, but in an anonymous way, in such a way that they come to realize, the moderator decides that this is a genuine compliment or a complaint on a person. So Johari windows. So anyway, what is said here is sometimes the situations are difficult for us to realize what's happening. In fact, we have to find out an opportunity where there is a complete end of the road to realize that there is a road to explore through the woods. Okay, so here is what the second part of our talk, that is the changing paradigm of business. When you talk about business these days, there was times when caveat emptor was there. You might see that, buyers beware. Once you buy a product, that's it. Take it. We are not taking it back. It's your responsibility to see the product, or to check that service before you pay for it. This is completely overhauled in these times. Now you can see this image. Well, it's self-explanatory. Lack of service is something that's going to kill you. No matter how big your billboards or the TV news advertisements or the newspaper advertisements, the radio jingles that you use, all the advertisements that we have, unless we service our customers in the realistic sense, our business may not continue forever. There are umpteen examples of businesses that has happened in the past. I'm sure as business students, we might have heard about the examples of Nokia phones. Okay, we might have heard about Kodak as a case study. Why these companies who were pioneers in the field? And imagine the first mobile phone which I had was Nokia mobile phone with a small little antenna. And when we changed those Nokia mobile phones, there was nothing that we need to look forward to. There was no comparison for Nokia at those times. I'm talking about the 90s, the early mid 90s, yes. But then 2000s, and later on you can see that it's nowhere in picture. So the ability to adapt to the new environment is essential if you want to continue with your business. To provide good service is something that we all look forward to. Customers are thirsty for good service. So any place you go might offer the same products, but the service is what is different today. Now let's have a small quick video on this. Is a 2-minute video, and see this customer service examples here.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're only boarding rows 9 and above right now. You'll have to wait.
I'm in row 8.
Please step aside, sir.
It's just one row. Don't you think it's okay?
We'll call your row momentarily.
And I'll do the crescent rolls, and you do the cranberry. You know I can't cook. Oh.
Okay, well, can I place you on hold real quick while I check the knowledge base? All right, thanks.
Step aside, sir.
Excuse me, I think you forgot my bread.
Bread, $2 extra.
$2, but everyone in front of me got free bread.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3.
What?
Nothing for you.
Could you tell me about some of your phones, please?
Okay. See that one over there? That.
Oh, bye-bye.
Thank you for waiting. We'd like to continue boarding the aircraft now. We're now boarding all rows, please. All remaining rows. Hello. Enjoy your flight.
Well, enjoy your flight. Okay, that's what it says. What you can see is a series of situations where customer is being tested, is not valued, is not respected. The customer doesn't deserve this sort of a treatment anywhere. It may be a little exaggerated in some case, but remember, as service persons, you are the human face of your company. It's not just the billboards, it's not the flashy advertisements, but you are the human face. Unless you are able to please us, unless you are able to understand the feelings of customers, our business will definitely be doomed sooner or later. Here, the airline staff, the ground staff, follows the rules on the book. Yes, rows, okay, 1 to 10 and rows. So whatever the rows they're called in, the customers have to come in. We understand the rules. However, to look at the practical situation here, there's only one customer waiting. Now, if you make the customer wait and follow the rules, you might sound that we are professional, but it lacks human approach. It's like a robot. It's like computers which doesn't accept anything after a particular deadline. But here it's not like that. We cannot hide behind the rules when it comes to customers. The businesses have to be flexible. Okay, so Patrick Bet-David, I'm sure some of you, I think many of them might have seen the videos of Patrick Bet-David. It's all over the YouTube. Speaks about the changing situation from customer service to customer experience. From customer service to customer experience. Now, what we see here is, look at the business houses that we go back again and again. Be it a restaurant, be it a hypermarket, be it any sort of, be it a spa or a salon or anything. And so according to Patrick, the reason why we go back to these service industry or this particular, even in products also, it belongs to one of the reasons belong to one of these 6 categories. Imagine fast could be one of the reasons for us. We go to this particular restaurant, say for example McDonald's, McD or KFC. It's fast, it's quick. We know that the service will be very fast. So I don't want to look at anything else but other than a fast food. Sometimes we go to a particular place because this has a cheaper option. This is a cheaper option. This supermarket has a cheaper option in our particular place. So we tend to, if you want to look at cheaper options, especially for a family, a budget market, supermarket, we go there often because it has got cheap options. Or even think about cars. Okay, in India, I think Maruti's, Suzuki, cars are very popular. It has got high demand for resale values. It's also reasonably inexpensive, low maintenance. So cheap is one thing which we might look for by buying the product. But look for the other one, luxury. Sometimes you want luxurious product. Luxurious product is like Range Rover, for example, luxury. They may not provide great customer service, but luxury is something that we look forward to. So the comfort of the seats, that's luxury. The power of the engine, that's luxury. Sometimes you look for quality of things. BMW is known for quality. Quality is something that we look forward to. If you want to focus on quality, we go back, you go to BMW for service center, you park your car, take another car until you get back the service, the car which is given for service. Quality, they are quality oriented service. Sometimes it is user friendly. You go to a website, you go to an app, a mobile app, you use it again and again because it's user friendly. So sometimes it's customer service. That is another area. Sometimes it is customer service. Look at the supermarkets which are there sprung up in every nook and corner of our streets. What makes you go back? They almost sell everything at the same MRP or little, paisa less, little, dollars here and there. But look at the customer service. We go back there because we have great customer service. Amazon is known for customer service. You buy something, you return it. They don't ask any questions. You're not satisfied with the product. Even in the US, it is there. Okay, for 3 weeks, you can buy any electronic item. You return, say that I'm not happy with the product. Customer service. So sometimes it is mandated by the governments to do certain things, but sometimes it's voluntarily done in many places. Okay, if you come across examples all across management books, you can see some supermarket. There's a case study of a company which has a lady went to this particular supermarket and said, I want to return the tires of my car, I'm not satisfied. And the till the receptionist said, but we don't sell tires. She insisted. I bought it from here. I want to return it. You know what they did? They took those tires. They don't sell tires. She doesn't have an invoice or a bill, but they took those tires. For them, customer service, they might throw the tires in the trash can, but for them, customer service is the topmost. That is what they consider the topmost. But there are some companies, it's like, once we sell the product, we are not taking it back. Like the mattress companies, you already laid it down, we are not taking it back. That is, for them, it's okay with a 1-star rating that is given. For them, it's okay. It's one time, so you have to be very careful. Whereas some basic business firms, it's customer experience. So customer service is a beginning part of a service industry these days. Remember, from customer service, there is a long way to move to customer experience. Customer service is a beginning part of it. Customer service is something that you do. You call up a mobile phone, telephone industry, say have a problem. Oh, I'm sorry to understand your problem. Thank you. Did I service did I entertain all the requests that you have made? Did I fulfill all your inquiries? The customer is upset. You apologize. You say thanks for your waiting, and then you do the resolutions. Customer service in that way is reactive. Customer service is something, a problem is there, the customer is upset, the customer calls the company, you do the firefighting. That is customer service. But customer experience is something which is long lasting. This is based on customer relationship management, or CRM, very popularly known as CRM. Today's service has to be customer experience oriented. We have been always telling about customer is a king, okay, all those things, but today is the customer centric business. Every business organizations, whether it is an airline industry, whether it's Amazon Prime, okay, they have all a VIP segment of customers. In an airline industry, they get preferences in the seats, they get all the preferences more than anybody else. That's a VIP customers. So this is called the customer experience. Now, if you treat the customers well, as we said earlier, customers are hungry for good service, because every supermarket sells the same product in almost the same price. But what makes the difference for you to come back to the supermarket is how you are treated. This is a secret of today's business. Business house, look at the banks, look at the supermarkets, everything has almost the same product and service. You take any bank in India, look at those banks in India. Everybody has a savings account, a current account, of fixed deposits, checkbooks, ATM cards, credit cards, loans. Everything was almost the same under the Reserve Bank of India. Now, what makes a difference? How you know this particular bank. I know I have some accounts with the bank in India. We go back again and again because you get like a VIP treatment. It's like walking to your home. Everybody knows you. Everybody greets you. Now, this is a secret ingredient of customer service today. From customer service, now what happens is if you treat the customers well, they become your champions. You don't need to advertise in the billboards, but these customers will give you a word of mouth publicity. If not, it can be very, very risky also on the other side. So business houses these days are focused on turning the customer service to customer experience. They might anticipate this person has a birthday, this is their anniversary. A tour company might look at it. They went for a picnic last time to Italy, for example. Now this time, months before, this business house is contacting them. Your anniversary is coming up in the month of September. Okay, where would you like to go? You want to surprise your wife. Okay, what do you want to gift? We have an excellent tour for a trip for Switzerland. Would you like to take it this time? Your kids will enjoy. Now this is called the customer experience. So if customer service is reactive, customer experience is proactive. They go before, months before, to see that what is your requirement, to catch them early. That's a secret. Now, if you are a satisfied customer, you will give them return business. You know that there is ROI, there is return of your investment. There's a good return of your investment. You go back there again and again. You understand the value for it. You understand that how you are treated well. As they always say, quality is often remembered, but cost is forgotten. Imagine last time how much you spent for your picnic or a tour. You don't remember the actual money that you spent, but you remember the face of that particular service person who smiled and greeted you in Italy. That's what you remember, and that's called customer experience. You look forward to going there again and again because of your valuable experience that you enjoyed. It's lasting in your mind. The cost is often forgotten, quality is remembered forever. Now look at these things. What do they have all in common? Walmart, T-Mobile, Moven, 7-Eleven, supermarkets. The surprising thing is they all have become bankers. They all have a financial transaction ability, which is indeed a threat to the conventional banking system. All these people have become bankers with financial services and tools for it, which is a threat to the existing traditional banks to compete with these people. In India, you have got lots of examples also. Lots of non-traditional new entrants are also stealing the share of the customers. So this also, you have merged businesses, which will be the in thing for today's business houses. There is always that reduction of friction when you appreciate loyalty of the customer. You know about cross-selling and upselling. Customer loyalty is not always correlated with superior customer experience, but customer disloyalty is highly correlated with a poor customer experience. When you are appreciating a customer, they may not be exactly because of customer loyalty, because you treated them well, but you might lose customers if you don't treat them well. That is what the thing is. Zuckerberg's law says that every 20 years, we interact 1,000 times more with others. Look at the vision that they had when they started Facebook. So to realize what is the potential behind the business is an important thing. We need happy, cheerful service people like this who serve you with a smile on the face, and we really do not go back to business houses which are like at the bottom here. You lose customers, you lose referrals, and you also get negative publicity. You're actually allowing your competition to win the market when you don't treat the customers well. Tesco CEO says, follow the customer. If they change, we change. If they change, we change. We are not for, unless you make the customers change with you, it's very challenging. Their mindset is changing. Adapt, suit according to the needs of the customers. There are lots of things that we can do to the customers without asking the boss. Smile while you serve. Be polite. Be respectful. Follow up. What else? So lots of things can be done without exactly asking your boss or without anything which is against the book of the rules in your company. There are 5 key drivers that's the biggest opportunity for improvement. One is knowing the customers. Knowing the customers is not just linking their PAN card and Aadhaar card. It is not just having the database here. It is not just storing the information of how many kids they have, okay, where is they staying, what is the capacity, how many cars, which cars they use. That is customer relationship management database. But knowing the customer is to talk to them with a friendly tone. I think you have it in India as well, very well. You call up the pizza service delivery, they will tell you they will address you with your name because they have your name in the database. They want to ask you, would you like to go for the same pizza that you ordered last time? That's personalization. You feel happy. Oh, they value me. They treat me as an individual. They remember me. Okay, if you remember them, they will remember you. That's a secret of customer service. Removing all those frictions between all the situations there, resolving problems efficiently. Problems might occur in any business, but how you deal with it is what the recipe for success. Protecting the customers. If we don't take care of the customers, somebody else will. And always remember, what keeps customers? Customers' perception that the company does what is best for them, not for the company. When you speak to some of those service people, you feel that they are on your side, although they are on the customers, they are representatives of the company. That's the feeling that they get. This is for the best thing for you. This is for best thing I can do it for you. So you get value out of it. That's what they need to feel. So to conclude, we've been talking about entrepreneurship at the beginning stage. And remember, in the changing paradigm of business, we have to think about moving from customer service, which is reactive, to customer experience that is proactive. And lots of tools are available in the market. The internet is full of tools as well. This is what it is. Questions and answers.